Right. Now, speaking of like that secondhand thing, you show a clip of Bill Maher on CNN, and he basically outs Ken Melman.
Exactly.
To Larry King. Not basically. He says, look, there are people that we all know.
Right.
He says Ken Melman. When CNN reran that,
right, for the West Coast broadcast,
they cut that segment out.
Exactly.
Did you talk to CNN? Did you go to CNN and say why?
I did not. I did not. But they, in fact, they have completely refused to answer any questions about this at all. I mean, they just, and I'm encountering this on my film as well, that the mainstream media suddenly has a huge problem with reporting on hypocrisy. Well, that's their job, to report on hypocrisy in any situation. And if they have some issue with maybe my film, they can say allegedly gay or whatever they like to say. I mean, my film is completely sourced and 100% accurate, but if they're concerned, they can go ahead and do that. But for some reason, when it comes to hypocrisy surrounding these issues, they're not going to report on it.
Now, I noticed in your, not only do you follow Mike Rogers, I noticed in your thanks that you had guys like Aravosis and Chris Schechter and Tonka and a bunch of like bloggers.
Exactly.
They're almost the only group of people who are reporting on this type of stuff.
That and the gay press, like the Washington Blade, Michelangelo Signorelli, those kind of people. Yes, but again, they know the damage that the closet causes. They've been wanting this story out there for many years, and I hope this finally puts it over the edge where people start talking about it.
All right, so I got to ask you. There was a couple of names that I didn't see there that I was curious about. Duke Cunningham.
Yep.
One guy who he's famous for being going to jail and for his boats, Toy Boy, I think it was, that he renamed at one point. But I've read that he actually outed himself to a gay rights advocate.
Right.
And he was also the guy that Maverick. Did you know that? Tom Cruise. He was the character for. He was the guy that they based the Tom Cruise character on.
I didn't. That's
odd coincidence because people have their own theories. Why not guys like Randy Cunningham?
Well, because I was looking for sort of really 100% corroboration on these stories.
Okay.
I think that's probably true, but I was unable to get another corroboration on that, and didn't want to put that in because a lot of these stories have been reported as rumors, and it's completely legitimate to report rumors. But this film is really one to take a very hard-hitting look at what the real facts were.
Same. Mike Rogers saying, if I'm going to get sued, bring it on.
Right.
Let's have this out.
Because he knows he's right.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, I got to assume that's also why no Mitch McConnell.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've heard the rumors. Lindsey Graham.
Yep, strong rumors.
Someone please shut that closet door. I mean, these are guys who, and I'm sure there are others out there that you're aware of. And it's interesting, you talk about the idea of, let's talk just in a general sense too about the idea of outing, because there are clearly closeted Democrats as well. But they didn't come up in your.
Well, they didn't, because my film is not a film that outs closeted Republicans. It's a film that reports on the hypocrisy of closeted Republicans who vote anti-gay. So yes, there are many people in Congress who are closeted, but if they don't vote anti-gay, I mean, in some ways, I feel that's their business.
I'm not. I tend to not agree with that. Obviously, I mean, I spent a lot of time because to the extent that I actually think that anybody who is a Republican, you are explicitly supporting this party, and this party is explicitly using an anti-gay agenda to further their electoral chances. Well, so if you're a Republican in any way, you are actually benefiting from that.
I think that's a fair argument to make. But when you have people who are closeted and voting pro-gay, I mean, they are actually going out of their way. I mean, they're taking a risk. So, I mean, in many ways, we don't want those people. From a gay rights perspective, we don't want those people out of Congress, because when they're in a caucus with their, Republican politicians, they actually influence the debate that goes on there, because people can't be gay bashing if they know somebody's gay. It's harder. They still do it. Like you said, they won't shake hands.
So to a certain extent, that difference is less of a moral one and more of a pragmatic one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there is an argument to be made that one's sexual orientation should be a public matter. If you're a public official, you're voting on issues of gay rights, the public has a right to know. I mean, maybe homophobes have the right to know whether their politician is gay and voting pro-gay. An argument to be made. It's not the argument that my film makes, but hey, that's what I want my film to do, is raise this kind of discussion.
Great. And so the film now is it's at Tribeca Film Festival.
Yep.
When will it get wider release?
May 8th. It goes out in New York, LA, DC, Philadelphia, and San Francisco.
And the website is outragethemovie.com.
Correct.
And so check it out there, outragethemovie.com. And I think that was, oh, you outed Ed Koch. That was sort of low-hanging fruit.
No, it's true. But you know what's really surprising about this is that people are stunned. You know, people outside who don't follow politics. It's like, I mean, New Yorkers who've lived here all their life. I never knew. It's because the press doesn't report on it.
It really is shocking. I mean, you know, and you talk about Shep Smith, and you know, it's funny. You don't say Anderson Cooper, but in the article that you zoom in on, you see Anderson Cooper's name there. Why is that?
You know, that's just sort of the way the shot worked out. We were moving really fast. I mean, the reason we didn't focus on Anderson Cooper was because Fox News has been such a, you know, supporter of the anti-gay hysteria.
Right.
CNN, middle of the road. You know, that was sort of that's where we drew the bright line there.
Okay.
Anderson Cooper should come out.
Right.
Soon.
But who knows? And it's also ironic, I wanted to just mention that actually yesterday was the first time that any polls have reflected a plurality, not necessarily a majority, but 2 polls came out yesterday that reflected a plurality of people in favor of gay marriage.
Oh, great.
So, you know, if we're lucky, this issue will be obsolete in 5 or 10 years.
Right.
And some people in your film actually predicted that. I think it was Michael Signorelli.
Yes. We're 10, 20 years, hopefully this will be all in the past. But you never know. I mean, one terrorist attack and this whole country could be spun in a
That's right.
reactionary.
Of course. If we're attacked by terrorists, we know who to blame. It's,
That's
of course,
right.
it's gays.
Exactly.
It's the gays.
Exactly.
Kirby Dick, thank you so much for coming in.